Hey everybody, welcome to the Happy Harvest Homestead. You guys know me, I am a very patient person. I can wait and bide my time, even if things aren't always ideal. I can be lenient and patient in order to reach my goals, but at some point, even someone as patient and as willing to wait as I am, just has to put their foot down and do something about terrible, stinking little rabbits. None of these little baby bunnies have grown at all in the past 3 months, and I have been pouring hours of work and effort and daily chores and weighing them, and we've been supplementing with grain, so we're paying for that to give them extra nutrients above the ideal just plain grass they would be eating, and they have not grown at all. And I've been pissed off for a while, but it's kind of reached a point now where I'm just over the craziness. And I'm going to do something very drastic about it. And I'm kind of sad that I have to do this, but honestly, I don't feel like I have much of a choice anymore. So today, I made the official decision to butcher all of the kits in the big tractor, even though none of them have reached their proper butcher weight of 5 pounds. They are the oldest and biggest of all the babies, so they'll have enough meat on them that some of it will be usable. And then the same thing applies for the kits in the small brown tractor. They are very small, but maybe if we cook 3 of them in place of 1 regular size rabbit, we'll get enough meat from that, and it'd be better than just wasting it. And then a couple of Acrobat's babies in our cage and hutch are big enough maybe that we might be able to get some meat off their little bones, but most of the babies in here are too young, so I'm going to dispatch them and then freeze them whole, and then we will use them as dog feed over the next couple months. And then in the colony, we are taking all 4 of Acrobat's girls, who are the daughters of Sterling, and butchering them as well, because they are much smaller than the other breeders who did not have Sterling as their father. And really, I think he is the problem, because he was supposed to be a backup breeder, so his genetics weren't really good to begin with anyways, but we used him all year, and all of his babies were slow growing. Some of you may remember me complaining a couple months ago about Acrobat's babies, who were the boy siblings of the 4 colony girls, and how slow they were growing. So my plan is to eradicate all of his genetics from our herd, and then this coming fall and into next year, having lots of Henry's babies, and maybe keeping some of those babies as new breeders, because he has much better genetics. While part of me wants to just stick with the rabbits we have, because we actually have rabbits, and I'm still kind of transitioning out of the scarcity mindset I was in last year when we were having no babies, and part of me wants to just hold on to all the babies we have and just keep as many as possible. And even though they're all really bad slow growers, there's less bad and super bad. So if I really wanted to, I could keep the less bad slow growers and over the next couple years probably breed to get them growing normally. But really, that'd be a lot of work, and because I'm aware of the scarcity mindset I'm in, and if I can switch over and remind myself that we have abundance now, and it'll be okay, and the Pasturella issue is past, and I don't have to be worried and scared and hoarding things anymore. So in the long run, it'll be super easy to just keep much better babies this year than have to slowly over multiple years breed our current rabbits back to get up to where they should be. I guess I can be happy though that we're at this level of culling for things. I kind of have a culling hierarchy in my head. First, the rabbits have to live, which means they are hardy enough to live on the diet we feed them, and in the housing we have for them, and in the weather we have here in Missouri, very hot and very cold, and very many sudden weather shifts that cause stress and possible sickness. And I've been chipping away at that for a while, and I keep getting out of that hole and then sliding back into it. But now we're at the point where we have hardy rabbits that are hardy enough so that my second goal, which is good mothers and large litters and being able to produce milk on our natural diet, that second one is covered because we have good moms who are hardy, and I've been struggling out of that hole for a while, and now I feel like I can finally begin digging the new hole, fast growth and good production. So it's very slow and gradual, and I could at any minute slip back into the bad mom hole or the weak, sickly rabbit hole, And it's happened before, and it probably will happen again. But it's good to be in a new hole, a new task that I'm trying to work out and clamber out of. And then, honestly, I don't know where to go from there because I have never gotten that far before. I have very lofty goals, and it's very difficult to reach. But the fact that I've been able to get so far, especially since we slipped back into the weak rabbit hole so recently with the Pasturella issue, but we got out of it because the rabbits proved that they were hardy enough to overcome their sickness by themselves. So I'm feeling pretty optimistic right now, and hopefully we have good things continuing to happen. We do have a buck who's never bred anybody before, but he so far has been trying to breed some girls a little bit. Obviously it's too hot and it won't work, but that of course is a good sign. And then all of the 3 does we're going to be keeping, Acrobat, Edelweiss, and Jezzalia, are all proven moms, so I don't have to worry about that. Overall, I feel like I'm going to just prune all the dead branches off of my little tree, my rabbit tree. Hey, I like that analogy. So I'm going to trim all the dead branches and the slow-growing babies off of my rabbit tree. And then this fall, we will start growing new little stubs and branches with new babies and new litters. And then hopefully we can branch out and we will expand our breeders and have lots of kits and lots of butcherings and everything will go pretty good. Of course, I always say that and then it never actually happens, or it does, but then doesn't stay that way for very long. So we'll have to see. But that's the plan. And today is a pruning day and I will see you guys when I finish up with that. Okay, I'm back. We have a good 24 very small carcasses in our freezer, and we have some very empty tractors and very empty cages and hutches. It is really weird to have so few rabbit chores in the morning. We just have 5 rabbits total now, the 3 girls and Henry in the colony, and then Sylvan, our backup buck, and Angora fiber rabbit, still up in the orchard in a tractor, though I'm thinking of moving him down to a cage so I don't have to trek out there anymore. Butchering all those rabbits took quite a while. I actually had to do it over a couple of days. It doesn't help that we're in a major heat wave right now, so that kind of complicated a bunch of things. I did really enjoy the opportunity as I was butchering to inspect their insides and see if there were any problems with the rabbits or any weird parasites. A majority of the bunnies were clear of parasites, which made me very happy. A few of them did have some coccidiosis though, so that was good to note. In particular, I believe one of the brown girls, maybe it was Maria, I don't remember, but she had some coccidiosis in her liver, which lets me know that it's possible that the other rabbits may have some as well, and while they're not presenting any symptoms, I can make a mental note of that and then make extra sure to keep things extra clean. I hate to admit it, but sometimes I don't sweep their colony quite as often as I probably should because it's super late at night or it's super hot and there's not really that much poop in there, but this is a good reminder for me to get back on and give 100% all the time, keep everything nice and clean and healthy for them. But overall, everything went pretty okay, and I am pretty pleased with my decisions. I was kind of afraid I would regret all the butcherings I did, especially the breeders in the colony, after I'd gone through with it, but the more time has gone on since I made my decision, the more right it's feeling and the more happy and excited I am for the future, so that's really good. And even though this was a short-term setback, we're not going to get as much rabbit meat, and we're not going to get quite as many babies. I think in the long run it's going to be really, really beneficial. Thanks for watching!